Hello, spooky friends. Welcome to Spilled Moments and happy Vlogtober. My name is Sydney, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing 13 of my favorite ways to incorporate the magic of Halloween into your everyday routine this October. These are things that I've been doing honestly since July because Halloween is the best day of the year, and I don't understand why we are saving all of the best Halloween and holiday traditions for just one day. We can start doing things now and really let the excitement for the holiday build up. I noticed too, a lot of people my age, I think, tend to complain that the holidays never feel as magical as they did when we were kids. And obviously, there's a lot of reasons for that. I think kids are just more easily able to buy into whimsy. There's the nostalgia factor at play. But also, when you were a kid, you had, your parents and your teachers and giant marketing agencies that were targeting you and trying to like sell you and teach you and share with you this concept of the holidays. And now that you're an adult, no one's really doing that anymore, which means, unfortunately, it's kind of up to you. If you miss and crave that holiday magic, you have to create it for yourself. Because if there's one thing I know about the concept of magic, it's that it can't come from nothing, right? It has to be cast. So it takes a little bit of effort, but if you employ some of the tips I'm going to share with you, I really think you will find yourself having a much more magical and whimsical holiday season. So let's get started. All right, first up on my list is something super, super simple, but it has a very great impact, a very great payout. And that is changing the background on your phone and all of your devices. You're probably used to whatever the current background on your phone is. Like you probably don't even register it when you pick up your phone anymore. So why not go ahead and change it to something a bit more seasonally appropriate, something that your brain will see and be like, oh, that's different. Oh, wait, that's Halloween. It's almost Halloween. Like it gives your brain a good opportunity to think about and process the changing of the seasons. I particularly love the iPhone photo shuffle feature that lets you have like multiple pictures. I think you can have up to 50 different pictures all saved as your background. So I just have dozens of different Halloween photos, and pretty much every time I pick up my phone, there's a different picture, and it just makes me smile because it gets me excited for the Halloween season. And again, you can do this to all of your devices, your phone, your smartwatch, your TV, your laptop, your iPad. If you have a work computer and you're allowed to change the background on that, do it. It's just adds a little touch of whimsy. And like I said, super, super easy. But if you're anything like me, you spend way too much time looking at your phone and looking at other devices. A lot of hours of my day go into looking at screens. So it feels like it makes a very big impact to my day to day when those screens look like Halloween. All right, number two is very obvious, but I felt like I couldn't do this video and not talk about it, and that is decorating for Halloween. You gotta decorate for Halloween. I'm not saying that you have to go out and like buy a bunch of new Halloween decor. I actually think I would advise against that. I think if you're finding that you don't have as much Halloween decor as you wish, I would recommend trying to buy secondhand. I think one thing that makes Halloween so magical is that like nostalgia feeling. And so buying new carbon copies of Halloween decor that everyone else has, like that's almost kind of like not the vibe. But if you can buy vintage and thrifted and secondhand pieces of decor, I think it really plays in with that, nostalgia of the holiday. So go to Facebook Marketplace, go to estate sales. Some of my best Halloween pieces have come from estate sales. And check out thrift stores. I see people all the time get amazing thrifts for the Halloween season, and I'm super, super jealous. All right, tip number three is about being intentional with color. And what I mean by that is obviously, I know I just talked about decorating for Halloween, and I definitely think you should do that and you should decorate as much as you can. But I don't think it's a requirement to like cover every single inch of your space with Halloween decor in order for things to feel more festive. I think a good stepping ground to getting there is just paying attention to the colors you're incorporating in your space. So let's say you're making your morning coffee and you have like a yellow coffee mug, but then a black one. Let's choose the black one because it's a bit moodier and maybe it's a bit witchier, and that can be your coffee mug for the month of October. And do this with everything. So if you have like two different comforter sets and one of them is like neon blue and then the other one is like a nice deep like red, use the one that you think feels more like fall. I would say probably the red one, but again, personal opinion is at play here. But just being mindful and like making these little tiny decisions and putting intention behind things like this, it's super, super small. But again, the small details I think really add up over time and can help transform your space. Tip number 4 is incorporating seasonal flavors and festive touches to your food and drinks. Specifically, here, I'm talking about coffee because coffee is something that I drink every single day, multiple times a day, and without fail, I make my coffee look and taste like it's Halloween. If you don't drink coffee every day, I don't know if we have anything in common. Maybe you can apply these tips to like your tea or your water. I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. But for my coffee, I really try and make it taste like fall. This is super easy to do. You just have to use fall spices. I think cinnamon is like the most famous and accessible fall spice, but you can use nutmeg, you can use allspice. And I have actually recently just been using pumpkin pie spice. I add it directly to the coffee grounds before I brew my coffee, and then I add it on top in addition to whipped cream and Halloween sprinkles. And it's almost like the best part of my day every day. It makes me so happy when I see my cute little cup of coffee. I get so excited. I don't even have to drink it for that dopamine rush. So I highly recommend decorating your coffee, decorating your food. It's fun, it's whimsical, and it's a nice little ritual, I think, to kind of tie into the season. Like, I know all throughout October, I get to make my fun little Halloween coffee potion. Tip number 5 is all about Halloween bounding. So, I have a bit of an unpopular opinion, and it's that I traditionally don't care about Halloween costumes. Like, I just don't. Which is wild because when you're talking to like a normal person, where I mean someone that's not like me, not Halloween obsessed like me, when you're talking to the average person about Halloween, the first question they ask is like, "Oh, what are you dressing up as?" And it's just like, I don't care. Like, I will admit I've gotten a bit more excited about costumes in like recent years, but traditionally it is my least favorite part of the holiday. Like, I don't, and I think it's because I treat Halloween as like an entire season. And the costumes, that only happens on one day. Like, that's the last day of the season. People all get dressed up. So I think just because it just doesn't have a big enough of an impact to me for me to like really care about it. And I'm trying to change that because I can recognize that costumes are an important part of the holiday, right? So I need to get on board. And so one thing that I think would be really fun to try and do is Halloween bounding. If you're familiar with Disney bounding, it's because adults are not allowed to wear costumes to the Disney parks. So they do bounding instead, which is when you wear like a casual, light version of a Disney character's outfit. So you cannot wear Cinderella's dress to the Disney parks, but you can wear a blue dress and some silver shoes. And then it's like you are a very casual, more, I don't know, realistic version of Cinderella. And I think that you could apply this principle to like literally any character out there in the world that you wanted to dress up as. And this gives you an opportunity to have more than one Halloween costume and to just be a bit more intentional with what you're wearing throughout the month of October. So I'm going to put some examples on the screen of what I think like some Halloween bounding examples could look like, and then I'm going to try out some later this month, and maybe we'll talk about it later if it goes well. Tip number 6 is all about leaning into the coziness. Halloween is the first major holiday of fall, and fall is when I think the world starts to slow down and really lean into the cozy comfort. And this is super easy to do, just bring out all of your extra pillows and blankets and really load up all of the spaces in your home. Light a fire if you have a real fireplace. If not, you can throw up a fake fireplace on your TV. And one thing that I personally really love to do, because I live in Florida and it's still just like 90 degrees outside, so I can't really curl up by a fire, but I do like to have a candle lit on my desk. I work from home, and having a seasonal candle on my desk just really feels like such the tiniest little reminder that it's cozy season. And I really love the like warm, cozy light that it brings to my space when I'm staying up late working on editing a video. Speaking of the warm candle glow on my desk, that brings me directly to tip number 7, which is lighting changes everything. You need to incorporate that warm fall lighting into your day. It completely transforms the space. You can do this just by like changing your light bulbs to be warmer bulbs, or if you have like the color changing bulbs, you can just make them warm for the season. You can use string lights. String lights are super effective at like creating that warm, cozy space We have some like jack-o'-lantern lights hanging on our headboard on our bed. And then obviously I have my jack-o'-lantern light that I made here. This is just a plastic jack-o'-lantern pumpkin pail that I got from Walmart for like $2, and I cut a hole in the bottom and I shoved it on this lamp. And it's so cute. It brings me so much joy. This is an LED light, so it doesn't get hot. So there's no fire hazard here, I don't think. And it's just super, super simple, effective DIY, and it lightens up the space, especially at night in this room. It looks so good. Tip number 8 is watching the Halloween specials of your favorite TV shows. I know a lot of people out there have comfort TV shows that they just watch over and over and over again, and I do the same thing. I take no issue with that. But for the month of October, I think that you should again put a little bit more intention into watching the Halloween specials of these TV series. Some of my favorite TV shows that have really, really great Halloween specials are Bob's Burgers. I think honestly, there's at least 10 different Halloween episodes of Bob's Burgers, like, and they're all so, so, so good. Superstore is one of my favorite shows of all time, and the Halloween episodes are hilarious. Highly recommend. And of course, The Office. It's very, very classic, but they have very, very great, very funny Halloween episodes. You can still watch your comfort TV every night, but maybe try and focus on watching the Halloween specials whenever you can. Just again, as a nice little reminder of the season. Tip number 9 is bringing in seasonal snacks. This is different from the seasonal flavors in your food and coffee, okay? I'm not talking about making anything. I'm talking about buying seasonal versions of things you were already buying. Why are you buying regular Oreos in October? Buy the orange Oreos, okay? Buy the Monster cereals, buy the Trader Joe's fall exclusives, buy the pumpkin beer. Like, these are not going to be available to you to purchase in just a few weeks, okay? So you need to take advantage of the opportunity. Don't buy food if you're not going to like it. That's not what I'm saying. But if you eat Cheerios for breakfast every day, why wouldn't you try the pumpkin spice Cheerios? Okay, it's fun. Okay, try something new. It's fun, it's festive. I'm a huge supporter of it, okay? I don't even like pumpkin spice that much, but you best believe I'm gonna get some pumpkin spice Cheerios this month. Maybe. Tip number 10 is displaying seasonal photos and memories. This obviously ties in with like decorating and creating an ambiance, but I wanted to share one specific thing that Alex and I do that just makes me very happy. We have one of those digital picture frames that, you know, your friends and like family can send you pictures and it'll just kind of like rotate through them like a slideshow. And the one we have specifically allows you to kind of create like different albums within the frame, and so we've created an album specifically for Halloween. So for the whole month of October, it is on the Halloween album. And so it's only showing Halloween related pictures that we've taken and that we've sent to the frame. So it's just really cool. Like every time we look over at the digital picture frame, like there's a Halloween memory from a year prior on display for us. And it's just really special. And again, it's a seasonal reminder of like the time of year and to kind of look back on like more specific memories specific to this time of year. And I thought that was really cool. I really love that like album feature, and I'm excited to do it for like other holidays coming up. Like I'm gonna make a Christmas one. Why am I talking about Christmas in this video? I'm sorry. Tip number 11 is having a scary movie night with a themed dinner. I'm not just telling you to watch a scary movie. Obviously, you know you can do that. But did you know that you can make your dinner match your movie? Alex and I have done this a couple times. It's always one of my favorite date nights. I think two that we've done in recent memory was we watched Lost Boys and ordered Chinese food. And once when we were watching Sweeney Todd, I made meat hand pies. Like I said, such a fun date night. You can cook the dinner together and then obviously watch the movie together. There are probably tons of different suggestions and ideas for this on Pinterest, so I would definitely recommend checking that out. Tip number 12 is listening to Halloween music. Again, this is one of the very, very simple tips, but it really helps when you're trying to like create a vibe or create an ambiance. You can listen to Halloween music while you're studying or doing a chore. If you're working on a hobby, you can throw up in the background like one of those Halloween ambiance videos. There's like billions of them on YouTube. I really like the Halloween lo-fi skeleton guy. He's very cool. And it just, like I said, it's one of those things that's super, super easy, but has a huge impact in really like creating the vibe of your space. Because I live in Florida and the weather is still pretty warm during Halloween, I find that I have a lot of like Halloween pool parties. And so one of my favorite playlists to listen to during the month of October is this Cabana Bay Halloween playlist on Spotify. Universal is not the one who actually made this playlist. It's fan made, but I think this user has made other Cabana Bay playlists, which is so interesting to me. But it's so good. It's full of like vintage Halloween music. All of the songs on it, I think, are kind of the same vibe as like the Monster Mash too. So it's fun if you're a little tired of the Monster Mash, because that's like on the top of every Halloween playlist ever. And tip number 13 on how to incorporate the magic of Halloween in the everyday is a pretty big tip because it kind of applies to everything. And that is to put a seasonal spin on all that you do. And with this tip in mind, I'm really focusing on hobbies. So, whatever your thing is, whatever you like to do for fun, put a Halloween spin on it. For some examples, I've recently started learning how to crochet. And so for the project that I'm currently working on, I intentionally chose to work with black and orange yarn just to make it look a bit more seasonally appropriate. If you like to do puzzles, you can do Halloween puzzles. If you like to color, you can do Halloween coloring. If you like to read, you could read like a horror book, read a murder mystery. Alex and I really like playing board games. And so we have a few like spookier Halloween board games that we're going to play this season. With crafts, you can do a Halloween craft. I really like to work with air dry clay. And so I have a few little Halloween things that I've made in the past. So just ask yourself, what do I like to do? What's my thing? What am I going to spend my time doing this month? And what can I do to make my hobbies feel a bit more aligned with this season? And there you have it. Those were 13 of my tips on how to incorporate the magic of Halloween very seamlessly into your everyday routine. I really hope that you took away something from this video. I know a lot of the tips were pretty simple, but I think that it's important to show that it doesn't take too much time to really put effort into giving yourself the magical holiday season that you enjoy. And I think the more of these tips that you do, the more they will transform your month into a truly magical experience. So please let me know in the comments if there's any Halloween rituals that you do that I can add into my routine. And if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe and stick around. This is just the beginning. We're having a new video posted every single day this month for Vlogtober. I am very excited. We have lots of fun, chaotic, spooky, cozy videos planned. So I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a spooky day. Bye.